It's been a while since we have talked about 6 Days in Fallujah, the immersive Battle of Fallujah simulator with a lot of amazing CQB elements that have never really been done before with a tactical shooter until this game. Come in, go with him. With you.
Watch
There's the
upstairs,
forces. It's down. You green? You good? The game offers this awesome procedural generation feature where the buildings and interiors will have a completely different layout every mission that you play. No room or structure will appear the same, meaning you have to rely on good CQB tactics in order to be successful in a mission. Now, when the game first released, I was extremely hyped due to the fact that we've been waiting for such a long time for this game to come out. The game was being advertised everywhere. It was being talked about by a lot of different FPS YouTubers, a lot of them very well known. I know the game was originally announced and was supposed to be released years ago, but they actually got shut down due to it being very controversial, as you can obviously imagine. So you can imagine the hype when they decided to bring this game back, and the game pushed its influence on this whole idea of a procedurally generated map, giving you this perfect simulation style environment for CQB. So fast forward to about a year or so later, and the game barely gets any attention now. I've played through the same missions over and over, including the more recent missions that got released with the content update not too long ago, and even though, yes, there are procedurally generated buildings and rooms that attempt to keep the game feeling fresh, the missions themselves just feel super small. At least in my opinion, they feel super small. And with procedural generation, even though the layouts change and you play the game enough, you kind of start to recognize patterns. You walk into a structure and you can usually guess what the layout is going to be before fully scanning the house. It's sort of hard to explain, but you can clearly see when you enter a room. You'll look on the right and you'll see where a staircase would be in another house, for example, if it was a different procedurally generated room, or you can clearly see that the room is very similar to another room that you just cleared. It's just mirrored. So it does get very predictable after a while, and it makes the idea of procedural generation feel less unique. I'm definitely kind of struggling to put it into words as to what I'm trying to go at here, but hopefully that does make sense for the most part. I think a massive solution to this issue of the game feeling empty and not as unique would be further adding content and features, which I guess what I'm trying to get at is, as of right now, we've had 3 major updates for the game since its release in the summer of last year. One of those major updates actually gave us some new missions. Now, I fully understand that development takes time, but one of the reasons tactical shooters struggle so much is due to the lack of content and how often content gets released. I truly believe that it doesn't really matter how much content is released. The majority of the fan base will never be fully satisfied. These PvE tactical shooters always end up being this way. However, I have to say that I do give these developers credit where it's due for an early access title. I just think they need to put it into gear and push out some more solid content more often to keep players happy. With upcoming content, they've promised us a variety of new features. We're going to be getting a bunch of new maps with the Marine Fireteam AI for single player. We're also going to be getting a full campaign with a bunch of new campaign missions. They are pushing to release the Marine AI here very shortly. Originally, they planned for the end of June, but it has since been delayed with no estimated time frame. This will also include the new missions as well. In July through September, they plan on releasing some more missions, and in October through December, they plan on releasing the campaign. Just recently, they released a development update regarding the upcoming major content update, which will give us the new Marine AI for single-player offline experience. They will be featuring a new unique system for the Marine AI that hasn't really been seen or done before in a game of this genre, which is pretty cool. With the Marine AI, they explain that there will be different types of actions depending on the environment. When outdoors, you have the ability to order your team to suppress the enemy when under fire. They say that this will give you the opportunity to assault and flank them while they are pinned down. This was created to emulate a real-life tactic called fire and maneuver, and that's essentially what you'll be able to achieve here, is pinning down the enemy and flanking them in order to eliminate the threats. They also mentioned that there will be additional commands outdoors or like bounding from cover to cover, and this will be touched up on in a later development update. The next set of actions that will be featured will be regarding stacking up to breach a door. When prepping to breach a structure, you'll have a whole new set of orders and commands with a variety of ways to enter. You can order your team to crack the door open, to scan the door before entry, kick or sledge the door open, and even split the team into pairs to enter from multiple directions into the structure. Once making it into the structure, you get another set of actions for your Marine AI. They mentioned that the AI will automatically spread across the room to cover entry points by default, while you make the decision on what room to clear next. They don't really go into much emphasis regarding what exact commands or actions we'll have here once we're inside the structure. I would assume it's very similar to the initial breaching. You'll have the option to clear each room similarly. Now, they don't really give us much info regarding the new maps or anything here. They do explain that they want this update to go very smoothly with little to no issues, and that is the main reason why it's taking so long for this new update to be released, and why they are choosing not to give us an estimation on release either. That's pretty much everything to cover here. There's a lot about 6 days in Fallujah that I really do enjoy, but the lack of content has been the reason I haven't been fully invested into creating content or just playing the game in general. I do plan to get back into it in full swing here when they release the new Marine AI. I think it'll be a lot of fun going through all of the missions with the AI team. I know you guys really enjoy hearing my commentary and talking about the decisions I make and stuff like that when I do the single player runs in Ready or Not, so I'm sure this will be a whole different type of experience when this update releases, and I'm very, very excited to try this out. Either way, that is going to be everything. Thank you guys so much for sticking through it. If you want to check out the dev update for yourself, I'll post that link in the description for you guys. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.